Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Q&A. We're here with Murray. Loved the sermon, Murray, yesterday on Luke 14 and the cost of discipleship. Before I ask you a few questions, would you mind just giving us a recap of yesterday?
Jesus says to follow him, to be a disciple of his, is costly. And of course, after I get done preaching, I think to myself, oh man, I wish I had said, just this one thing. So I suppose what I would like to say, in summary, is that the way that we're thinking about generosity, the past week, Psalm 24, this week with Luke 14, is that generosity is more than just about money. And if we make it only about money, then we've really missed what Jesus is talking about. Generosity needs to characterize all of our lives, which is why Jesus says, if you don't renounce all that you have, he doesn't just mean money, all that you have and follow me, you can't be my disciple.
So what does renouncing all that I have look like practically?
Well, Jesus in, I think it's verse 25 or 26 says, if you don't hate your mother and father and brother and sister and spouse and children and even yourself, you can't be my disciple. And he doesn't mean literally hate them. He means your love for me must be so great that every other love must look like hate in comparison. And I think we can translate that to all things. Our love for Jesus has to be so great that our love for anything else looks like hate. And once that principle is at work by God's grace in our heart and our life, I think that's what it means to renounce. It means to say, no, I want Jesus more than I want all those other things.
Yeah, there's a joy in choosing Jesus over other things. If someone was to come to you and ask, hey, I'm willing to give up some things to follow Jesus, just not everything. How would you explain to them or help them understand, well, it's an all or nothing deal?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an all or nothing deal, not because I think so, but because Jesus says so. A couple of moments later, Jesus says, salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, it's no good except for to be thrown out. And what he means is, being a disciple is good, but a halfway disciple is worse than an unbeliever. And so to not allow Jesus' lordship over all of our lives means that Jesus is not Lord over any of it.
Yep. I had a convicted moment when you were preaching about how I go to great lengths or even great costs to find significance in my relationships, success, material possessions. Mm-hmm. How would you encourage someone or encourage me on saying, look, the great lengths, the cost you're going to try to find significance in your own pursuits, there's a greater joy in the cost in finding significance in Christ?
Well, I think the first thing I would say is you're right to want to find significance. That's part of what it means to be created in the image of God. But all those other things in which we try to find significance, the created things, God's gifts, aren't designed to bear the weight of that. Nor are they designed to in fact give what we're seeking. The only thing in the world that can give us the significance that we desire and that we seek is Jesus. And I think recognizing that not only is that true, but God did something about that, about the reality that we forget that and we can't pursue Jesus like we ought. And so he comes all the way to rescue us, and he comes all the way to redeem us, and he comes all the way to forgive us of our sin, and he comes all the way to clothe us in righteousness. And those things give us significance. And once we're moved by that reality, then everything else in life begins to take a back seat.
Well, we thank you for your word yesterday, for the encouragement and the reminder of the cost is absolutely worth the reward of Jesus. And so thank you for listening. As always, if you have questions about a sermon from Sunday or just a question in general that you would like for us to discuss, please reach out. Thank you.